Hello. Wow. Closer to me. Pretend you love me. Closer tone. A little closer. I know you can handle it. It's only for an hour. Don't worry. Okay. We three men. Welcome to the CCTV Men's Group. Also called AHA. A human among humans. We have extraordinary humans today.
Hummus among humans?
No, human.
Oh.
Human.
Okay, got it.
Anthony Donahoe. John, whose last name I don't know. John?
Oxenford.
John Oxenford. I remember that now. There is a name. And I am Michael Coran, your host. We are going to be talking about body dialogue and social issues. This is not yet banned in Boston, but you might catch this while you can. Body dialogue and social issues. Anthony teaches classes in this, yes?
Yeah.
And tell people how they can...
Okay, AnthonyInDialogue.com. You can Google that and...
Let's do that slowly.
AnthonyInDialogue.com. That's it.
Great title.
Well, it's a working title, but anyway.
Beautiful.
And that'll bring you to a website, and then it'll show you stuff that's coming up.
You have no idea what it'll show you. It will be worth the trip.
You have no idea. You haven't looked at it yet. You have no idea.
I might have forgotten.
All right.
Okay. So we're going to give you for free a sample of how body dialogue and social issues can change your life and the world's.
You are the world. So
how do we begin, Tom?
Well, we'll do this in two parts, as you and I talked about, and you wanted, I think you just suggested we'll use John here to do the first part. So, I have my own notes. First part is, I'm going to do, sorry, I don't know if I'm in enough here. I'm going to do a short version. Basically, I want to set this up. So, body dialogues and social issues are the way we approach an issue in the world and how it affects our body. You know, we can get some attunement or wisdom from a body around a particular issue. But sometimes, most times being connected to our body means that we're present with ourselves, and we can also be present with an issue, and we can dialogue with that presence to get a step forward into encountering that issue in a more resourceful way.
And the example would be?
For example, if you did my class, my group coming up, which meets 4 times, you would get a sense of an issue in your body, and you would take over 4 weeks, you would take some action around that issue, but it would be with a dialogue, with integrity with yourself, not just taking action where you're disassociated.
What would be one kind of actual example of that?
Well, for example, if you were connected to the cruelty of animals for something like that, and you would say, well, I can't actually look at that on television, I see a PETA commercial, I can't. So it would be more like, okay, let's just get away from media, and more like, okay, what does this bring up in you, and why are you connected to this issue? So you have a motive, a why, and also you find your way into being resourceful around feeling your way through this issue, and then you move into the world with this issue by tuning into actions. So this happens in a group format. So you would have an accountability group that takes a look. Okay, this week I'm going to approach this issue this way. I'm going to see if I can make some difference in this cruelty to animal business. And since it's such a huge issue, where do you start? You start by being present, and then you get an action step from there.
What would be an action step, an example?
An action step, well, a simple action step might be, we talked earlier, you and I sent donations into the Ukraine thing, but it might be actually going to a shelter. It might be actually maybe adopting an app. It depends what your issue is. Something that's visceral, that's in the world, that's real world. But you approach that. It could be that, there's a dog locked up next door in your neighborhood, and you can say, look, I can bring that dog out during the daytime because I'm free around lunchtime. Something that makes a difference
Yes.
in the, with that particular group or that zone.
Have a
Something
friend
that
of
makes
mine-
a difference, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, go ahead.
go ahead. Friend of mine that goes to shelters and takes dogs home and lives with them.
Okay, so he's already connected to that. Yeah.
Yes.
She. Okay.
John, any example of that by any chance?
Yeah, so let me ask John the first question. Can I ask you? Okay, so what's between you? Well, actually, did you have a specific thing you wanted to ask?
I was going to
following your notes here.
ask him if there was some action that he has been moved to take from.
Well, I'm going to do a plug-in for my job.
Yes, go for it.
Because I've been through maybe 10 years of going through mental illness. I had the symptoms started in high school, and then they really hit me, and I was 21, and now and since I recovered from a really bad accident due to my mental illness. I recovered.
Yay!
So I'm doing well now. But all these things. I wanted to be a famous actor, but it just didn't work. I wanted to be a famous guitarist.
You're on the show now, John. This is beyond any fame you
What I'm
dreamed
saying
of.
is, I think I've found my calling, and that's through working with my job is called a peer mentor, a lead peer mentor for the NAN project, NAN, the nanproject.org. And I can go and help people who are going through or went through recently what I was going through, and I just feel like it's almost like going back in time and being able to speak to myself. Oh, no, don't do that.
Yum! Oh, I do the same with my life.
So
Yes.
I feel like I'm really making a difference.
Yes, that's beautiful. That's our show. We can't go beyond that. That was too much. But as a little postscript to that, we have another 50 minutes.
Great.
Okay.
All right, so we're ready to do some stuff in the present time?
Yes.
Okay, and thanks for the story,
Sure,
John.
no problem.
No, stay we are.
Okay.
I mean, it's...
Yes. No.
Yeah.
John's on for the next.
All right, so
This is his beginning. He's not only doing what he did. This is his beginning of his acting career.
Okay. All right. So because we're doing it on this show, I have a short format that we'll use for this show, and it's a variation on what we do in a larger in a larger group, and we would use the group support, an ongoing group support to take a particular individual action for people in the group. So what are you experiencing? So what the form? So I'm giving you a sample of what the group will be like, but what are you experiencing? What are you experiencing now, John, in your life? Like in
Right now or in my life?
like in your life, something that's maybe. Let's not go for a social issue. Like just what's an area that you would like to say improve on, but it's sort of not whole yet.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask. Excuse me, if I may.
Well, you're going to keep interrupting me, so I don't know.
You can stop me.
Please don't interrupt me.
Okay.
All right, John. So what are you experiencing in your life that you don't feel whole about right now?
Yeah, well, I think I took one of your classes, and the subject I brought up in there to find sort of like a psychological gesture for it or whatever was cleaning up my apartment and keeping everything, I was just talking to my therapist the other day, and one of the first things that I have to do before I can meet my other goals is to set up everything that I can control, just where I live. So I cleaned my apartment floor the other day and I felt great, but still, there's a lot of mess all over the place. So that's what's going on in my mind.
Okay, so
I can relate.
so when you focus on that right now, what are you experiencing around your apartment?
It's sort of a half of like feeling really good because I set a goal to clean my apartment floor at the end of every month, and I've done it for 3 months this year. So I'm feeling really good about that, and then I'm also feeling just a little bit stressed and worried and chaotic about all the other stuff I need to do with it. So half good, half bad.
Okay, all right. I'm a little distracted. We have a little meta thing going on between us. I don't know if you've noticed. So I feel like we're working at odds, but okay, so you're feeling that way, and let me get back on script there. So what's between you and feeling really complete with that, really whole around that? What's getting in the way of it?
Just finding.
You already made progress, but
Yeah, just finding room in my schedule. Yeah, it's difficult because I'm working real hard one day and then I have a day off, and all I want to do is just relax and chill and not do anything. But maybe making better use of those free days. When I have some free time, because I got stuff to do on the weekends too, and my work schedule is kind of chaotic. So my free day, I just want it to be a completely free day. But maybe using those free days is just to get something done, like a 10 to 30 minute thing.
So what's getting in the way? If that is what you're not scheduling it, or you're just
because I just enjoy feeling lazy sometimes.
enjoy feeling lazy? Okay.
Yeah.
Yay!
All right. Oh my God! I think Michael's winning the competition. That's so evident here.
It's not a competition.
Well, anyway, compositions.
Yeah.
Composition right here. All right. So what? Okay. Let me just go off script, since we're already off script and we're doing a personal thing here.
Yeah.
How does that relate to a bigger issue in the world? So you got this thing tidying up your apartment. So what's it like if you were to leap from there into something in the world? What?
No, I'm going to stop you, Tony. Tony, let me please.
No.
I want to.
Well, you can.
It's my show.
Well, I'm leaving because this is a effed up show.
Effed up?
It's effed up.
I want to stick to our plan, man.
No.
Yes,
No.
we worked hard.
Well,
The next part of the plan, after what he experiences.
let me see that. This is an effed up show. I'm not going to hide it. There you go.
Oh, good, I can still do it. The next step in our plan.
But you guys work it.
No,
Work it out.
no, okay.
Go ahead, no, work it out.
No,
Okay.
I surrender.
And Joe, we'll catch up when we catch up.
I surrender.
No, it's okay.
I surrender.
And so it's actually okay that we can't have a dialogue here. It's like we just call it for what it is.
I will be quiet.
Sorry.
I thought we had a plan to do what we had planned to do.
I actually think you had a lot of thoughts about it, but that's kind of you seem to be dominated by your thoughts, and I can't actually get on to.
Oh, Tony, come on back, please.
Okay.
Tony, come on back. I will be quiet.
All right, I'll catch you guys.
No, Tony.
That's okay. It's okay to let it go.
No,
Feel
it's
it
not okay. Oh, what an interesting show. Help
It's
him
not
to cry.
recording. It's not recording anymore, I don't think.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Sure.
Well, I thought he pressed the button, but it's still red on there.
What?
It's still when the guy pressed the button, it was red, and he just pressed the button, but it's still red.
They're still recording it another way. Come on, sit next to me.
All right.
Well, we're gonna do his show. I don't
sucks 'cause
understand, but
we had a lot to give.
boy, this is one of my very best beloved friends. Okay,
How do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm want to cry.
Yeah.
I remember in nonviolent communication, I'm not responsible for other people's feelings.
Yeah, that's probably true.
I really we've done this show before, Tone and I.
Mm-hmm.
We had a very careful outline
Yeah.
that we spent from 4 o'clock to 5:30 working on.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the challenges is his mind is so fertile, it goes from one place to another. And I told him, I'm going to get you to stick to the program. And so the first question he asked, which is great, is what particular experience is on your mind now?
Yeah.
And you mentioned your room, and I can relate.
Mm-hmm.
And the next question, fortunately I only ripped it into 4 pieces, is some curiosity about this feeling.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of like, this is the first time in my life where I really started to take care of what I need to take care of in my life, Thank you.
Come a
you
little
know,
closer to me.
be on camera here.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's nice, and it's not perfect yet, but you know, it's just something that I'm setting goals for. But it's a little bit new, for me.
And so, could you hug the feeling of this being something new, the pleasure of having done it for 3 weeks in a row, right?
Yeah.
And also the discomfort of it's not totally done.
Yeah, true.
So can you really just hug that feeling and tell me what it feels like at this moment? Just to be curious about it. We're not
Yeah,
going to
well,
accomplish anything. Just
I feel pretty comfortable. You know, it's just it's a few irritations here and there, but you know, I've been cleaning the floor once a month for 3 months. I've been doing my laundry. I've been getting my groceries. You know, so I'm doing all the essentials. You know, paying rent and all that. I'm doing the essentials, but you know, just stuff like getting my lamps to work. You know, getting some light bulbs for my lamps. You know, they're so nice to get me some lamps, and I just haven't used that opportunity to make my apartment a better place, you know?
got it. I have extra light bulbs, but the old-fashioned ones.
I don't know if they'll work on
Oh, they
me.
might not. Okay, now, curiosity now would be how in this moment now, sitting next to me, and you know you're experiencing it now, or doing it at least according to this particular protocol, if you're surprised at this moment what this relationship to you and cleaning your room and keeping it operating, can you be curious about, geez, I wonder how I feel about that now? And just tell me after you've been surprised, really,
Feel about what?
about you and your room.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Well, give it a moment.
Okay.
Just hug it. Hug this whole experience and see if something surprising, a surprising feeling about it, comes at this moment.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of excited because, you know, one, I've got the opportunity, and two, I'm really close to getting it done.
Yum! So you're excited.
Yeah.
Where do you feel the excitement?
My heart.
Great.
Just right
As,
here.
as soon as you're guessing, that means you're right. You're doing it right. Yes.
Really? Okay, that's
You
good.
feel- Okay. Next, with your hand on your heart, can you feel some loving kindness toward this experience?
The apartment situation.
Yes, your experience of it.
My experience of it.
You just told me.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but you know, I got my own apartment for the first time in my life.
Yeah, though that sounds like your mind, which is wonderful.
Okay.
What is can you feel some kind of loving kindness? For me, when I'm feeling what I'm not going to tell you yet, but just, and again, if it's a surprise to you, then you know you're really in tune with this particular exercise. What at this moment surprises you when you are feeling some energy from your heart toward this situation?
It's a little frightening.
Now you're talking. See, that's surprising.
Yeah.
So now you're really being present. And what is frightening? But don't forget, you're giving your loving heart is sending loving energy toward this fear. Can you feel that? Can you feel that you're sending some loving, kind energy toward this fear?
Yeah, it's not like a fear. It's as far as my apartment concerned. You know, just my space. It's mine. It's not. You know. It's not really a fear of being in danger. You know, it's a fear of just having something to do. I was thinking. Oftentimes I'm thinking, there you have something that you want, that you have to do, you want to do, and you can describe how many, X amount of times that you want to do it, but actually doing it, you can't go from A to Z, and that's how I felt with, okay, I'm putting on the calendar at the end of the month, I'm going to clean my apartment. I said, I'm going to clean my apartment. I'm going to do it. But I didn't. And so I realized that, the amount of sort of force I was trying to give it is kind of like, you must do this because
yes, too much.
you'd be a better
Tony
person.
would like this.
Oh man, I wish he hadn't left.
Yes.
But
We'll see him again.
yeah, I hope so. I hope he'll come back on the show.
I doubt it.
But and now it's just sort of like, okay, I'm going to give myself an hour and a half out of the day to clean my apartment. And then just kind of rational minding. It's only an hour and a half out of my day. I get it. I feel good. It's done. But I can't force myself to do it.
Great. Now, but what I'm asking for you now, those are wonderful thoughts.
Okay.
How does those thoughts, because you had fear also, right?
Yeah.
And the fear, again, remind us, was...
The fear was just the chaos and having to do so much work that I didn't want to do.
Oh, there's just fear. Oh, there's too much work to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, can you, again, just focus some loving, because you're hugging that fear now, and how, can you just be curious, what does that fear experiencing now that you're loving it or hugging it?
I'm just kind of sitting with it and trying to relate it to my good feelings of having done some work in my apartment to make it the way I want it to be. And I just started mentally just kind of visualizing different things I could do, how it would look.
Yeah, now your mind is very quick, and I'm trying to do something very
You're
slow.
trying to do emotions, not mental.
Yeah, it's just what does the fear feel like? What is it experiencing now that you're sharing some love with it? Does it feel calm?
It's feeling comfortable.
It feels what?
Comfortable.
Oh, it does feel comfortable.
Feels protected.
That's huge.
Feels protected.
That is huge, John.
Yeah.
That our fears, when we have them, if we hug them, sometimes might feel comfortable.
Huh.
That is, you've graduated. The rest of the show is a bonus.
I just had a breakthrough. Just like there's so many times, actually throughout every day of my life, there's fearful thought, stress, what if, and I have been trying. This relates completely to that because I've been trying to let the thought be. There's something I learned when I did a little bit of guided meditation over at Cambridge Meditation Insight Center.
Yes.
Yeah, and I was just kind of, they told me, breathe, you get the thought, breathe in the thought, let the thought go, and now it's gone. You're on to another level now. You know that thought doesn't have control over your feelings.
Yes.
Or your mind or your behavior.
That too.
Yeah.
And we've just discovered here, just hugging and feeling some love for whatever feeling is happening might all of a sudden enable you to feel comfortable with that feeling.
Being comfortable with my fears so they turn into not fears.
They could, that possibly could be too. Okay, the next step of this, my dear friend, Anthony Donahoe, only ripped this into 4 pieces. It was this, and gave them back, threw them back to me. This is true love. Okay, so we've done step 1. Step 2, I got all this from Anthony, and you learned at the beginning of the show how to get into his website. I think it's Anthony at Dialogue? No, it's Dialogue with... No, I don't remember exactly.
I can send you it. I have it on my computer.
Yeah, but we want the people...
and we want Anthony...
But you could go back to the beginning of the show and get it. So, I'm sure he's going to be fascinated and want to watch the show. So, the next step is what does this feeling, maybe fear if you want, that's one of the feelings. You also were very content, right? And happy. And a little disquieted, maybe. I don't know how you'd put it.
Chaotic.
Yes. So let's do one at a time. What does the fear that you're now comfortable with, it might be changing into already changed into something else. What does it want from you?
What did you say earlier today? You said something about random acts of kindness and compassion. You know?
Sure. John's talking about Dr. Patch Adams, who trained hospital clowns, said the most revolutionary thing you can do in the world is be happy, which we're working on here, and do random acts of kindness and commit senseless acts of joy. I'm going to cry over my friend Anthony, but there's some joy in that. Actually, I can feel. Okay, so we're now asking, what now, without thinking, if you can feel it was fear, there was some happiness. I don't want to put the words in your mouth. What were some of the other feelings about this room?
Well, I was feeling happy. I was feeling comfortable. You know, I was feeling proud, maybe a little bit.
Yes, and there was a little something that was not happy.
There's the chaos.
You feel, that's not quite a feeling, but what would maybe
fear.
Chaotic is a feeling.
Yeah, chaotic fear of the chaos.
Or maybe because chaotic is a feeling, I think.
Could be.
Yeah. So let's ask what some of these feelings, we're now gonna listen to them and see what they communicate to you. It might be pictures, it might be songs, sounds, words. You pick one of those four. Maybe we'll start with happy. That was very.
Okay.
Was that one of your words? Happy. Okay. Where in your body do you feel the happiness?
I want to laugh, I suppose. So, heart, diaphragm.
Oh, don't guess. Just ask and see what comes to you.
I want to laugh. You know.
You get
Smile and laugh.
and where?
I want to laugh and enjoy.
So where in your body do you feel that?
Right here.
Oh my. Okay. Now let's ask that laughter at cleaning up that's not easy for people to do. The only way I did it was invite a friend over, and I needed to have her sit and wash me clean. Otherwise I was too depressed to do it.
Oh man, clean your place?
Yes, so she sat there and I cleaned. So you're doing way better. So you're happy and laughing.
Yeah.
Wow. So now ask your happy laughter, which you're feeling up here. And again, you know you're doing it well if you're surprised. What it wants from you now.
To be honest, I feel like, you know,
let it speak though. I don't want it to be from your mind.
Enjoy.
No, I think your brilliant mind is speaking. Give it a break. Take a breath like you did in the minute. Yes, go ahead.
What it wants.
What does it want? Yes.
It wants me to enjoy what I already have there and what I've already done.
Wow. Okay.
You know?
Beautiful.
Not worry about all that stress and chaos.
Yes, it's wonderful. These are great things because you'll always have these with you, and you'll have this on YouTube. You'll see it. Okay. Now, yes. So we're halfway through the show, and we've done part one.
Okay.
Let's take a breath. I'm still recovering from the great drama that we had, which I hope will make great TV.
Yeah. As long as this is still recording, it looks like it.
Yeah. Well, they also recording it somewhere else.
Excellent.
So this is the backup.
Oh, great.
So now, part two is social issues.
Okay.
So we mentioned one, which in our warm-up for this show, and you want to share with us the social issue or the news, what on the news that
the
that
absence
grabbed
of,
your attention.
the absence of, I don't, the absence of. I haven't seen mass shootings on the news highlights recently, in a while. So sort of the absence of news on that subject, the mass shootings, and that's a lot of different emotions. Yeah.
And you mentioned the one that you responded to before that absence.
The one that I remember, the last one I remember is in Buffalo, New York.
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did with your personal life
Uh-huh.
with this. And we can do this with our personal life and with our social life. And hopefully we can be true to Dr. Patch Adams, who trained hospital clowns.
Oh yeah.
And after this show, we can be taking another step to the most revolutionary thing we can do for this world. Be happy
Be happy.
and commit random acts of kindness and senseless acts of joy. Okay, so let's do that. This might be challenging, but I want to do the challenge one. The not seeing or hearing about acts of violence. And so the first thing we did was, let's see if I have this now. Where do you feel that in your body?
The absence of
The absence, yes, that's a hard one.
Oh yeah, we had a psychological gesture.
We'll do it now though. It might be different now. It might be the same one.
Well, the one I remember, I guess I wasn't doing it mentally.
Yeah.
But it was sort of just this crippling, can't do anything.
Well, that I think was when we were thinking about Buffalo.
Yeah.
Now, this I'm doing it. I want to be faithful to Anthony's outline.
Okay.
So the one which is harder for us to do, but we'll see if we can. What's really grabbing your attention is not seeing any of that. So that's a hard one, but you're bright. Where do you experience, because you must experience that in your body too. Geez, I'm reading the paper, I'm watching the news. Where do you mostly get the news?
NPR.
So on the radio?
Sometimes radio, sometimes in the morning I just try to read the highlights every morning.
Oh, you just read them?
And
They
just the
send them to you,
highlights.
yeah.
And I just, sometimes I listen to it on the headphones at night, radio.
So this is way more challenging. We'll see if we can do it. But we have a great audience. This is a Cambridge audience, brilliant. They're into these challenges. So after listening and reading the news for many days now, can you remember a moment where it occurred to you, wow, I'm not hearing or seeing any mass shootings for the last few days?
Yeah. It's this kind of, I don't know if the hope is bleak, but it's a feeling of a little bit of hope, but it feels a little bit bleak as well. Because there's been so many.
And can you think of a particular moment when you were feeling this, both hope and bleak?
I mean, every time I check the news, okay, no mass shooting, and then, there's all those other feelings that I get from the other highlights, and then, once I read the 4 they have there, I just say, okay, the 8 they have there, I just say, okay, No mass shooting. Good. That's day one, you know, and then we go next
good.
to
And now,
day two.
where do you feel that in your body?
In my body.
You can take your time. You don't need to. Don't think it. Really allow your body to go there again, or be here now. And geez, where do I feel in my body? What were your words? Hope? That wasn't your word. What was your word?
For what?
For not hearing about mass shootings.
A kind of bleak hope.
Bleak hope. Okay, so where do you experience this bleak hope?
You know, it feels like it's in my eyes.
Very nice. Oh, I can feel that too. So you're feeling this bleak hope in your eyes. So we're going to do the 2 steps now.
Because it's almost dangerous to let in an emotion for something like that. Because it's always, once it shows up again, you're just thinking, oh, that emotion, that good emotion didn't do anything, you know?
Tell me a little more.
I mean, you know, okay, you know, I slowly, you know, one day goes by, you know, no shooting. Another day goes by, there's no shooting. Another day goes past, no shooting. And then all of a sudden one does, you know, and I'm building up all this, oh, I can breathe now, oh, no, nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, another mass shooting. And it's just like, oh my God, you know, what? Why isn't someone taking care of that? You know, shouldn't there be some sort of social media they can see from that people are going to this point, you know, the people they could talk to, you know, gun sales or something like that, or their parents or their friends. And it just feels just like it all that good hope that I was fostering just didn't do anything, you know?
Right, so that's bleak.
Yeah, that's the bleak part.
and the hope part was, oh my, it hasn't happened for a while.
Yeah.
So can you now, there's an exercise I learned from my eyes. It's called palming. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. You can just rest your elbows on the chair and cup your hands and let your head, cup your hands over your eyes. And we want you to be doing this. None of this just watching on our show. We know who you are if you're not also doing this with us. So, cup your eyes and let your eyes rest in your hands. And just take a few deep breaths. How does your bleak hope feel? Oh no,
To be honest, I just went completely mental on that one too. I just had all these rushing thoughts, like, what do we need to do? Can't we help these people?
oh yeah,
Who's not listening?
good for you for the honesty. Let's try again then.
Okay.
Let's just see what it feels like. No. Let's be curious about what this bleak hope is like. So you really just say, geez, I wonder what, because those are complicated words. Very interesting. Bleak hope, I've never heard of it. You're a poet.
Oh, thank you.
But what is this bleak hope like? Let's just cup our eyes, elbows on arms of chair, resting head in hands. Let's just be curious about this bleak hope. And if there's anything that surprises you about this bleak hope, and if you'd like, you can share it with us.
I get it sort of through the center of my lungs and close to the spine. And a little bit up here too, like my breath.
Yeah.
Just almost a feeling of excitement.
Wow. Wow. Because the hope is great, right? Maybe it's that part of it.
Yeah.
It might be bleak, but when there's bleak and there's hope, it could be exciting.
Yeah.
There's an old song way before your time, one of my favorites. I don't think you've heard of it. You can tell me. When you walk through a storm, hold your chin up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver sound of a lark. So that's exciting, a little hope and a little excitement.
I like that a lot.
Yes, from Carousel, the Broadway musical. Okay, so we've been curious, just curious about our body's bodily experience of a social issue. Step 2 is we're going to be kind. Send some loving kind in Buddhism. You talk about meditation. It's called metta, which is loving kindness, and we're going to send some loving kindness toward the bleak hope in your eyes. And we do this. One way of doing this is with a hand on a heart, one or two hands. One hand is enough. And send. You can feel your heart pumping, I imagine, yes?
Yeah, I will.
So it's pumping both, nutrients and life to all of our parts of our body. It's a very loving pump. So let's allow this pumping love to go into the bleak hope of our eyes and be surprised at what that feels like.
Yeah. That's a really healing feeling.
Say it again.
That's a really healing feeling.
Oh, tell us a little more.
I just I connected with my heart. It feels very gentle, very comfortable, loving. Wants good for the world, good for my life as well, and I tried to bring that feeling to this sort of bleak hope thing, and it just kind of helped me get a feeling of this might actually help something. Just connecting with this feeling and kind of transforming that bleak hope into kind of I'm helping somehow. I wanted to cry a little bit,
Yes. How is that helping?
It's given me it's given me more hope that I'm helping, but it's also giving me just maybe a belief that maybe there'll be a day where we won't see any messages.
Wow. Just sending that love there.
Yeah.
Great. And so the last question is, so this new, more tearful in part, right? But hopeful. I guess the hope, there's more emphasis on the hope than the bleak at this moment. Is that true?
Definitely is, yeah.
So let's ask this bleak hope, which still has tears in his eyes, and we might put just our hands on over our eyes and cup them. What does this more hopeful feeling want us to do?
Well, I mean, if I can let myself believe that these acts of kindness will help, one, that would make me feel a lot better, and two, I'd feel motivated to go and try and give that to the world, you know?
Yeah, these are beautiful thoughts. I wanted it to be a little bit less brilliant, if you don't mind. And just let, as you were doing before, those were beautiful thoughts of your mind and heart. I would love you, if you can, to let your eyes, which were feeling the bleak hope, let them do the talking. They might not talk in words, because eyes are into the images. They might talk in music, sound.
That's what I've been trying to do, is to sort of describe and explain.
Yes, it might be like dreams. It might just say, okay, the bleak hope that I've been loving now, and it feels much more hopeful. Though there's tears in my eyes, maybe tears because it feels better too, for the moment. But now, what would you like me to do now? And it could be just pictures like a dream. It could be words. It could be sounds. It could be music. I don't know, but not your mind at the moment. I like it to be.
You caught me there. You caught me because I was just about to try and describe what I was.
Yes, go for it. So, what does the bleak hope, which is much more hopeful and tearful now, what would it like you to do?
Just feel happy.
And this is it talking. It wants you to just be, just like Dr. Patch Adams.
Yeah.
The most revolutionary thing you can do to make this a better world, John, is to be happy. And then out of that happiness, random acts of kindness and senseless acts of joy. So he would, like, one random act of kindness he did was go into hospitals dressed as a clown and get people who were in the hospital to laugh. I'm going to tell you, so we have done the great Tony Donahoe's brief syllabus on how body awareness of social issues can help transform us into doing actions. Now, we didn't quite get actions from you yet. I let you off too easy.
Okay.
Be happy is a wonderful thought and feeling, but I wanted you to those tearful, more hopeful but bleak eyes. I want to ask them one more time, what would they like you to do? And happiness might be the first step. It could be, I don't want to speak for you, it could be close to happiness. But let's just try it one more time. You can cover your eyes. What would these now tearful, more hopeful but still sensing bleakness eyes, which are a response to no acts of gun violence in the news, what do these eyes want me to do now? And give it a moment, so it's not your mind, but the eyes who are speaking or communicating in some way. I'm going to turn this off, unless it's Tony.
And I was thinking of just
Well, I don't like that word thinking.
I
I want to know what the eyes want.
don't know how to do that.
You were doing great with
Yeah, you know, I got emotions, and then I got
that. Now we're talking.
yeah, and then I got feelings of action.
Well, what were they?
Just wanted to, you know, at first I was just sitting out here staring at people, and I just wanted to see them in their best light, you know, not be like, oh, negative.
Oh, there's an action.
Okay.
Huge.
Great, we're getting there.
Now, and how will we do that? Well, no, we can do that if we can look and see.
Yeah.
It's easy to see the negative, but we can say, I want to focus on what's going on that's good or great in that person's. Maybe the way they walk, the way they look.
Yeah.
We could see a lot of, maybe they're too fat, but we can see, oh my, they've got great ears, right? We can focus on, they got a nice nose, they have beautiful skin. So we can do
It's
that.
almost like just, you know, you see someone on the street and you look at them and you wonder, I wonder what they think of me, you know, I bet I look like a criminal, you know, I bet they're gonna do something terrible. And then you can look at someone with a completely different state of mind.
Yes.
Oh, that person looks great, they must really enjoy their day, you know, and you just feel that connection all of a sudden.
Yes.
Right?
There's this story. Well, we did it.
We did it.
We have done Anthony Donahoe's brilliant. We had planned, I didn't want to tell John, we had planned him to leave. He had another engagement, and we wanted to do it dramatically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Because he wanted me to have just this chance.
Okay.
And we made sure when he ripped up the notes that it would only be.
It seems rather decided, you know, 4 equal parts.
Yes, that was
right?
right. It wasn't like
Okay, you guys are playing a trick. But not a trick.
Yes,
This
it was.
is like a therapy for me.
Yes, this was
It's like I found, you know, my life got better. because
Yes,
of
we
this.
knew that.
I'm so glad you two aren't having troubles.
Yes, we did it for you.
Thank you.
So we have a choice. I could tell you a story,
Yeah.
or we could, maybe I think it might be better to reflect on what we did and what you felt and thought about it. We still have 6 more minutes.
Yeah. 8 more minutes. 7.
It ends at 6:57.
Oh, okay.
And I can join you. I feel when I'm going to let you go first, Phil.
What? Oh, man.
What do you feel and think about this whole process? We first did it personally, and we found something that was going on with you now, and then we were curious about it. Then we sent love to it, and then we asked how it felt about what we learned from what it wanted, it was curious about. After it loved, we asked it what it felt like, and then we asked what it wanted from us to do, what it wanted us to do, and then we did the same with the social issue. We asked where we felt it in our body. We hugged it to find out, geez, what's just a little curious about more. We could learn about what was going on in our body. Then we put our hand on our heart and loved this experience and said, oh, now that we love you, what do you have anything new you want to reveal to us? And then we asked it what it would want us to do. And for you it was to both be happy, which is revolutionary, making a better world, and to see if you can experience the wonderful parts of people rather than focusing on the negative parts.
Yeah, and stop worrying about what if.
Yes, just to really just... So that was a lot. Now, so tell me more about how what this experience has meant for you, or feels like for you.
Feels like for me. It feels like I kind of like I'm trying to. I got a visual for it.
Yes.
Just kind of like almost like a star, space and stars kind of thing. flashing yellow lights, not flashing, not electronic or anything, or flashing. They're just sort of there in the universe, and then brighter eyes, and just a smile, and just a mutual feeling from someone I never knew, and just seeing, just the sense of happiness. I can feel a connection, you know.
Tell me more about the sense of happiness and feeling a connection.
Yeah, if I'm not trying to describe it technically, yeah, I just saw, I saw a woman walk by right there, and she was looking down, and then all of a sudden, she looked up, and she seemed happier, you know. And I might not have noticed that if I was in a more negative state of mind. You know?
Wow. Well, we have 1 minute. Do you have any questions or
Did I
comments?
hog the show a little bit?
Yes, feelings and thoughts about the show. Yes.
Did I hog the show?
No, not the tiniest. Zero. Zero. As you can see with our dear friend Tone, I'm in charge here.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for having me a part of the show, and just this therapy work with me, and having with you, and just thank you so much.
Sometimes it's even more therapeutic than therapy. One, to have a good time, and two, to create some art together, which we've been doing for the last hour. This is our art. This is we just made a TV movie.
Excellent.
That was it. That was our last.
Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you.